In the early hours of Saturday, March 14th, 2015, Caroline Del Valle disappeared after going out partying with her friends. Caroline Del Valle Movilla, born on November 21st, 2000, was 14 years old at the time. The teenager had spent the previous night at her best friend Silvia's house. Upon returning home, his mother gave him 20 euros to go to McDonald's for lunch and gave him permission to go to the In Time nightclub for minors in the afternoon. That night of Friday, March 13th at 1:33 in the morning, Caroline and Silvia decided to hang out in a bottle in the hermetic area of Sabadell instead of going to the disco for minors in the Olympic Village in Barcelona. A bottle is an open space with free access where young people usually listen to music, dance, consume alcoholic beverages, and even psychoactive substances. Caroline's mother, Isabel, spoke to her daughter for the last time at 9 at night before she left for that place. He asked his mother for permission to stay the night at Silvia's house, to which his mother agreed on the condition that he return home early. Instead of going to the disco for minors in the hermetic area of Sabadell, Caroline and approximately 20 people decided to go to a drinking club in the same area. During the night, 3 Moroccan men arrived in a red Audi, offering free drinks to everyone present and playing music for the girls to dance to. They seemed to be acquaintances of one of Caroline's friends, Nissan. In that area, the presence of the police was common due to the disturbances caused by young people who went to the Bora Bora nightclub to celebrate. That night was no different when the agents arrived at the place where Caroline was with her friends. They all ran away. Some of them were young people who had escaped from juvenile centers, and others had search and arrest warrants. Even though Caroline had no record, she did exactly the same as her friends. That was the last time they saw the 14-year-old teenager. While everyone was running away from the officers, Caroline was walking down the sidewalk. According to Silvia, her best friend, she yelled at her several times to follow her, but Caroline didn't. Silvia hid under a car, and when she came out, she only saw Nishring and Hannah, another of Caroline's friends. Silvia relates that they began to walk towards the train station, and behind them came everyone else, except Caroline. Justin was precisely the last one to see her. Justin relates that Caroline was going behind him and calling him. He told the girl to hide at that moment. A police patrol caught up with them, but Justin managed to escape. It was the last time he saw Caroline. Justin hid in the Canafew Castle, and after a while he met up with the others at the sand station, according to Silvia. Silvia called Caroline to find out where they were, and Caroline asked her if she knew anything about Caroline, but Justin told her no. The boy then arrived at the scene looking a little dirty and covered in mud. According to the investigation, Caroline's cell phone located her at the Sabadell station, and she called Nishring, but she did not answer. That morning, nothing was heard from Caroline. His friends went to eat at McDonald's, and then each one went home. On that Saturday morning, Isabel, the girl's mother, was waiting for her at home as they had arranged. But Caroline didn't arrive. Upon noticing his absence, Isabel called her daughter, but her cell phone was turned off, so she decided to contact Silvia. That night, Caroline told her mother that she had already left for home and would be home soon. However, minutes passed, and the young woman did not arrive. Isabel called again, and Silvia told her that something had happened to her on the way home. Caroline lied to her mother several times, since she was not with Silvia, nor had she come to sleep at her house, as her mother thought. The young woman had been missing for several hours, and her family did not know. Isabel, not knowing what could have happened to her daughter, checked Caroline's social networks and contacted several of her friends to ask them if they knew anything about her. In response, he received a message saying that Caroline was very far from Barcelona at the time. Given this, Isabel decided to go to the police to report her missing. Until that moment, Silvia continued to maintain that Caroline had slept at her house. 2 days after her disappearance, Silvia told Caroline's parents that she had disappeared and that she had not heard from her. Since that Saturday morning in the hermetic area of Sabadell, her family began desperately searching for her in all the clubs and places in Barcelona, but they found no trace of her. One hypothesis suggests that Justin could have had sex with her and then suffocated her, throwing her into a garbage container, waiting for the garbage truck to arrive and shred the body, ending up in the city landfill. Another hypothesis suggests that Justin could have buried her inside the Can Fu castle. However, this hypothesis was ruled out because the garbage truck has a security camera in which the dumping of garbage is recorded, so if his body had been thrown, it would have been recorded. In addition, the waste first passes through a belt where organic and recyclable materials are separated. Another hypothesis is that Caroline was convinced by her friends to go to Sabadell, since they had an agreement that the Moroccans would go to that place to take the young woman. According to Isabel, the girl's mother, the friends found it very strange that an unknown car came directly to where they were and offered them drinks. It was red and 3 boys got out. It seems very suspicious to me, kids, that they were always looking out for Caroline, but they didn't give it much importance since, according to them, they were friends of Nishring. With this hypothesis, it is believed that the 14-year-old teenager could have been a victim of white slavery and could be in France. A third hypothesis was raised by Nine, a girl who everyone accuses of being allegedly a friend of Moroccans. She mentioned on a live stream that she had nothing to do with Caroline's disappearance. According to their version, all the blame lies with the police. She remembers that, when the agents arrived, she walked out so as not to attract attention and go unnoticed. However, Justin, Caroline, and another girl ran out and passed her. Then, she saw them running ahead of her as she walked. A man about 2 meters tall and with red hair walked past her. It's strange. I remember it clearly. I don't understand how they didn't catch him. He was after her. How do you not catch a girl who is 1 point tall and something? It is their responsibility. I thought the police officers had caught her. Perhaps believing nothing had happened, she thought the police had taken her and that Caroline would show up the next day. So much so that he claims to have helped Caroline's family in their search, accompanying them to police stations and other places. Everyone began to think that maybe the girl was scared, and that's why she didn't want to show up. But the strange thing is that she didn't look for her friends to ask for help either. Although the authorities' investigation located Caroline's cell phone at the Sabadell station, and they said that she called Nishring without receiving an answer, the girl claims that her phone could not receive calls, and that Caroline knew it. Therefore, he thinks it's possible that the people who had Caroline were following her. Regarding the Moroccans and the red car, Nishring said that he did not know them and that Caroline and Silvia were the ones who approached the vehicle to dance because they liked the music they were playing. Next to them were several more boys. Nishring stayed with a friend smoking for most of the time they were there and never approached either the men or the vehicle. Isabel, Caroline's mother, assures that the investigation carried out by the police officers was non-existent, since they never went to her house to check her belongings or even checked her personal computer. Furthermore, the inspection with dogs was not carried out by them, but by the local police of Sabadell 3 months after his disappearance. After this, they were told that it was possible that the girl was in the garbage dump, a version that was denied in 2018 when everyone involved was already of legal age. Nishring asked authorities to call them to testify, but was denied, saying it was impertinent. The problem with the case is that there is a lot of silence on the part of all the parties involved. Authorities did not make much progress in the investigation and did not tell Caroline's family if they had found anything new. The only thing they know is that they are following 2 leads. One related to human trafficking, since there were pedophiles near the place of disappearance, and another related to the bar managers who possibly captured the girl. The case is archived due to lack of evidence. Although police officers believe that it is a homicide with forced disappearance and concealment of the body, 8 years have passed since Caroline's disappearance, and it is still not known exactly what happened that early Saturday morning. The versions of each of those present contradict those of the others, and they blame each other. The truth is that the authorities do not have any clues about her whereabouts or what could have happened to the girl, who today would be 22 years old. Since that early morning in March, his family has lived with an uncertainty that does not allow them to sleep. one of the people who fought intensely to find her, died without knowing what happened to her. Her grandmother, Teresa, was never able to see her oldest granddaughter or hear from her again. Her mother, Isabel, all she wants is for the case to be reopened so she can finally know the truth about what happened and have her daughter back home. He doesn't lose hope of seeing her again. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Leave me your opinion in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and activate the notification bell so you don't miss our next videos.